Well, the motor's together, top end is on. I no longer believe this is a stroker motor because, well, by the simple expediency, I measured the stroke. And it is a 650 standard stroke. It was 750 standard pistons. So it's not a stroker. That was my mistake. I still don't understand why the pushrod tubes that were either too short or too long. We worked and finally got a setup that works. We've got two thick washers at the bottom, and I made a double height squish ring, soldered them together, and they're holding up pretty well, and I think it'll be just fine. Maybe someday I'll figure out why it is the way it is, but right now, I don't know. It's a solution to whatever the problem was. It might have been that they put in some heavy-duty, spiffy, expensive lifters that were different heights than stock ones. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a good setup here, and I believe it will hold the oil just fine. Not a lot of pressure, just the internal engine pressure in there. So that's where we are. I've adjusted the valves and torqued the head and set the initial, no, we haven't set the timing yet, no. So that's where we are. The first thing I'm doing now is to make sure that this Morgo pump that's in there is actually pumping oil. So I've got the intake line here with some oil in the funnel, and we're going to be kicking it over later on. Got oil in the line, you can see that. I love transparent or translucent oil lines. I don't like black ones. I like to be able to see the oil. So anyway, we've got oil on the intake line. We've got about half a quart of oil in the engine from when I put it in way back when. And I'm going to kick the heck out of this thing and see if it will suck in the oil in the intake and give me some oil out of the return line that's sticking up there in the air, because I want to see that Morgo pump some oil. Actually, I'm going to go in there now and look online and see if there's any special anything that we have to do to make that Morgo start pumping. So that's where we are. It's all put together, and should probably, maybe possibly, could be put back together by tomorrow, depending on what I find with that Morgo pump. Other than that, it's just a matter of bolting on all of the ancillary parts and setting the timing and seeing what happens when we kick it over. So the fun just never stops.